Bonjour à tous. Bienvenue sur ma chaîne. Ooh, you didn't see that coming, did you? Got you. Whenever I get to this part of my training sessions, where I talk about mental health and learning disability awareness, I always get asked this question. What are the causes of mental illness? Now, before I carry on with this video, let me put a disclaimer out there that I am not, a mental health nurse, neither am I a psychologist. But I will say this, that I did a course or certification rather, in mental health first aid and mental health advocacy in the workplace. And trust me, we did a lot of research. A lot of research. Now, there are so many, things that could trigger it on, but the exact cause is not known. So in this video, I will be talking about 4 factors, that can trigger or worsen a person's mental health. Now, that is not to say that this has happened to us, on a daily basis. But, some of us are stronger than some. Some of us have more strong willpower than others. But we are not here to judge. We're just here to say what these things are and how we can protect ourselves, if that makes any sense. So what exactly are these factors, Kes? I'll be explaining in a minute. My name is Kesiena Aquara Atie, a health and social care trainer. A gazillion merci beaucoup to all of you old and new returning subscribers. You guys, you rock. And hey, to all of you, my awesome mentees out there, a gazillion kisses to you all. And hey, if you're just watching this channel for the first time, yeah, and you see this ebony face for the first time, Joy, why don't you just join this family? How do you do that? You smash the subscribe button. That's how. Yeah, you give me a thumbs up by liking the video. And of course, don't forget to click on that all important notification bell. So whenever I upload a new video, you, my dears, will be among the very first to know. Freely connect with me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Care by Kes. And I will see you there. Now, before I get into the topic of today, let me say this here. I want to give this pep talk here. And that is, we all have issues in our lives. But you see, this head, that is your incubator. Your head is your center of excellence. Your head is your crown of glory. No matter what life throws at you, you see, this your beautiful, lovely head. You protect it. You protect what goes in. You protect what comes out via your actions, your utterances. Does that make any sense? Now, I have been through a lot. My mental health at some point was so challenged. All of us must have gone through our wilderness period at some point in time. Now, I went through mine, and at some point, I'll be honest, I haven't done this before, said it before, but at some point, I was suicidal. But then I said to myself, what the heck? If I do something stupid, who suffers it? My child. What have I gained? Nothing. And I said to myself, you know what? This fight, we will fight it to the very end. Okay? I will live and I will fulfill my purpose. Maybe someday I will be willing to share the story of my mental health illness and journey with everybody. But as far as I was concerned, I didn't see it as a mental health issue. I just saw it as a battle, as a phase, if I may say, which I was determined to overcome. But let's tackle of mental illness is not known. But like I said before, you have 4 factors that could bring about, a person having mental illness or having their mental health conditions or issues worsen. Now you have the biological factor, you have the psychological factor, you've got the social economic factor, and of course you have environmental factor. Now, what are the biological factors, you might ask? You have genetics, which means that if you have a parent who has mental health issues, you just might have. But that is not definitive. It doesn't mean that because they had, you too will have it. No, it doesn't. Okay? Within the biological factors, you have brain defects, certain infections that could bring on, mental health issues. And then you have a long use, or should I say a long-term use of substance abuse that can bring on biological factors which lead to mental health issues. You have the psychological factors, which could be as a result of abuse, either physical, emotional or sexual. Now, it is worse in psychological abuse, particularly if it's sexual, because you cannot, disclose it. You are being told if you say nobody will believe you anyways, or if you say what happened, we'll do this and that to you. And so you keep your mouth shut. That is very terrible as well. Or you suffered an early bereavement of a parent. Now that can affect you in the sense that when you think back, as to how your life was when your parent was alive and how it was or it is now that they're no longer there, it can break you. Believe me, honestly, I've been there. It can break you. Okay. Then you have socio-economic factors like what? Unemployment, debt. When you are poor, being poor is not a good thing. Poverty can plunge a person into mental illness. And then you live in unstable, poor, living conditions. It can honestly upset a person's mental health issues. Okay? Then you have mental. Environmental in the sense that you are from a dysfunctional family. Oh, no, that one can truly affect a person. And then maybe you have parents who you lived happy, all of a sudden the parents divorce, and divorce is traumatizing for children. If you have been there, I can empathize with what you're going through, And then, of course, you have when you are lonely, you are angered. Now, for those of you who are in the UK here on the territory visa, I've had a lot of people tell me, oh, it's so depressing and all of that and all of that. Why? You have changed jobs, you have changed locations, you have changed countries. And then you're still trying to get into the tune of how things are done here. You're trying to make friends. You have to get accustomed to the kind of job you are doing, which in majority of the cases, 99% of the cases, is not what you were doing before you got here. Particularly if you live in Asia, Africa, or South America, it wasn't. So what am I saying? Look after you. If you feel that, you cannot cope or something, speak to your managers. If they are not, forthcoming, go and see your GP. There is help. Don't sit down and let people get into your brain and your head rather and mess it up for you. By the things they say to you, by the attitudes they give you. Hello, this is what I do. If I get into a place and I feel that that place is toxic, what do? I get myself into a cocoon. I zip it up. I mind my business. I say the hi, the hellos, the smiles and everything. I go about my business and I do my job to a T. That's what I do. And then when I get to my house, I play, I dance, I do whatever I need to let off steam. So what am I saying? If you are going through some kind of mental illness, do us a favor. Get a hobby, something you love to do, and do it. But please don't go shopping and get yourself into debt. Please don't do that. If it's gardening, if you're just playing your music and dancing, whatever, or watching comedies, whatever you think you can do that can let off steam, let it off. Because I've come to realize that when you store so much in your brain via stress and everything, it messes you up. Let off steam. Mental health is very important. And that is why I use my slogan that no matter what the matter is, you matter so much more. Au revoir.